Hey everybody, Doug here, your tech dad. Wanted to welcome you to the channel today. We're going to be talking about jobs in the tech or IT field. As I previously shared, I've held many of these different jobs in my career, and we're going to be actually building a separate video for each one of these. But I wanted to run through and highlight what some of these are and a little bit about the nature of the job itself. So let's get started. So we're going to start with a developer or an engineer. These are folks who actually like to write programs or software using programming languages. So they're the ones who build the software products we use every day, whether that's something like FaceTime or Microsoft Word. Those are products that are developed by engineers. There's millions of these types of programs that can be written. The creativity is up to the developer, really. And many companies are formed every single day with an idea that can be developed through software. So these are your developer, engineer, coder type folks that you will see in this type of career that build these programs. Next up, we have architects. There's a couple of different kinds of architects, but these are the folks that have a great understanding about how an environment is put together, meaning they understands how things connect. So how one server would talk to another, how do things scale in terms of being able to have a software application that runs fast and is safe in terms of security and efficient. They are typically have years of experience with a variety of different software applications, networking, and security type products. So that's an architect. Next, we have up a database administrator. So a database is where data is stored. And so there's many types of different databases out there. There's relational database. You might have heard of Oracle or Microsoft SQL Server. Those are some of the more well-known ones, but there's lots of different ones. There's NoSQL databases like MongoDB and things like that, and we'll get into those later. But a database administrator really focuses on maintaining those databases for a large enterprise typically. Some companies like banks and such, they have databases that are petabytes, which is a lot of data that have millions and millions and millions, in some cases billions of rows of data stored in them that need to be stored for historical purposes as well as for searching and analytics. So a database administrator is someone that's responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of these large databases. Next we have up is a consultant. A consultant is someone who actually, as it suggests, consults companies and individuals on the best practices in a particular industry. So you might have someone that specializes in like SAP as a consultant, and that person knows everything about SAP. They might be hired by a third-party business to help with an implementation of SAP, which can be complicated. You need to have vast experience, and not only with the tool itself, but also implementing it. Consultants, are typically in a consultant company. Some of those are very large companies like Infosys, IBM Global Services, which has been renamed to Kyndryl. You have companies like in the Beltway around Washington, D.C. that focus on federal clients like Leidos and CSC and those sorts of folks. They literally have thousands and thousands of consultants that they hire out to businesses and to the federal government. That's what a consultant does. Next up, project manager. I think we all can probably be familiar with what this is. It's really someone who manages projects. In the IT world, that means from the beginning to the end, meaning from the time it's decided that we're going to get a piece of software or build a piece of software until it's implemented, and then ongoing updates and additions to it. So they are someone that likes to manage people. They're very good at time management as well. Next up, we have a Scrum Master. What is that? So a Scrum Master is someone who's involved with building an application in a style called Agile. And in the next coming videos, we'll learn about what Agile is. So a Scrum Master actually makes sure that an Agile project is on track. They meet every day in what's called a Scrum with the engineers to ensure that whatever is being developed in that next segment for release is actually on time, on schedule, and includes the things that have been promised. Next up, a network engineer. This is someone that's more familiar with hardware. They very much know how to put together a server, maybe even build it from scratch. Maybe it's racks of server in a big IT data center. They know how to install operating systems. They know everything about communications in terms of getting the servers to communicate with each other. That might be in a central location or out to remote regions. Global companies have network engineers that have experience, getting servers to talk across geographical boundaries using multiple communication methods. They're very talented folks, and they actually require a lot of certification to get where they are. Security or cyber engineers. Cybersecurity is something that obviously is very popular today. These are folks that ensure that our computers and our servers are safe, that they're protected from outside hackers or folks that want to mean harm to a computer data center, for example. And they're very familiar with certain software applications that work in those various different environments, how to install them, set them up, and configure. Next up is a cloud engineer. A cloud engineer is someone that knows how to configure the cloud. So we'll talk about what is the cloud in the future, but it's AWS. You may have heard of that term, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud, which are the main big 3 cloud vendors out there today. They are focused on, of course, of selling virtual environments up in their cloud for global deployments. So we'll spend a lot of time talking about a cloud engineer, but a cloud engineer is someone that manages those environments. So we're going to stop there today. That's just a brief intro to those different types of careers. And like I said, I'll break down each of them in detail in future videos. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.